Hello, Will's Fifth Quarter Special fans. Welcome to the special emergency Bears NFL Draft Round 1 night Facebook live stream. Another edition of a Facebook live stream here at Will's Fifth Quarter Special, the show where when the fourth quarter buzzer sounds, you turn to us for your fifth quarter sports talk. I'm your host and creator, Will Farlow here, and it's an exciting night for Bears fans, folks. Will's Fifth Quarter Special fans. It's a very exciting night for Bears fans. A team that has pieces on the defense. There's some offensive pieces. The O-line is in a decent spot where a few pieces can really fix it and get it ready to roll for the team for the long term as well. And we didn't know what to expect, but a lot of people were saying the Bears could have gone cornerback. We heard the name Greg Newsome, a good prospect out of Northwestern. Northwestern has been pretty well known the last few years for its prospects. There's some quarterbacks available, but we didn't expect, at least I didn't as well, that getting around pick 10, around pick 9, we would see Mac Jones and Justin Fields still on the board. Now, I was, at first, a lot of Bears fans were probably thinking, we might have to watch out for the Patriots trading up. They might have some more assets than the Bears would want to trade in the moment to get one of those quarterbacks. So, Washington was also in the rumors as well to try and get one of those quarterbacks, so we didn't know what to expect. But the Chicago Bears trade up to 11, and the new quarterback for the Chicago Bears is Justin Fields, quarterback out of Ohio State. It's a very exciting moment for Bears fans. I'm excited myself, Will's Fifth Quarter Special fans. This is a very, very good move for the Chicago Bears. A team that brought in Andy Dalton on a one-year deal for $10 million, still has Nick Foles in that quarterback room, has just added a talented young quarterback to their roster, the quarterback of the future for the Chicago Bears. We actually have a question, so I'm going to answer this real quick. Again, fans are welcome to come on camera if they want to, but a disclaimer, this will be posted on our YouTube channel. So let's see if Artemio Herrera, old friend of mine, wants to join. So let's see if he wants to. You don't have to come on, but let's see if he wants to. Okay, hang on. Okay, so we're going to answer his question then. He didn't want to come on. That's okay. Let's just send an invite and see. Okay, so we're going to answer Artemio's question here, Will's Score Special fans. As usual, this show's all about the fans. So I want to hear what you guys are thinking about the pick. You could ask me what I thought, but I want to hear what you guys think as well. So he's asking if I was surprised by the Justin Fields pick. And yes, part of me was definitely surprised. I mean, the Bears did trade up back in 2017 to get Mitchell Trubisky, and that didn't work out. So it made you wonder, in the minds of a lot of Bears fans wondering this as well. The media as well was talking about it too. Would the ownership trust the Bears to move up? Where would the Bears have to move up? We didn't know. It's like they were talking about tonight on the draft. I think the team that was covering it nationally and on the radio, shout out to WBBM and their crew tonight covering it as well. Hubbarkers, Grody, all those guys. But getting to the point there, it was unexpected where it could happen. And, after 3, like they were saying, you kind of see things opening up. I mean, we saw cornerbacks go at 8 and 9, places where, we thought the Bears would have to trade up to get one of these quarterbacks, if they were, shooting for Fields over Jones. So we didn't know what to expect. So the Bears, I think, price-wise, what they had to give up. And we're going to get into those details for Will's Score Special fans that just are finding this out or seeing the Facebook Live after, it's through. This will be up on the YouTube channel. You're seeing this as well, and on our Facebook profile at William D. Farlow, the Facebook home of Will's Score Special. So the details for the trade, the Bears traded up to number 11, to the pick of the New York Giants. So the Chicago Bears traded in return for pick 11. The Giants are receiving the Bears' first-round pick tonight at 20th overall, and a fifth-round pick this year, which is pick 164. And the Bears are also giving up next year's first and fourth-round draft pick. Now, we did expect, fans, that, to get one of these quarterbacks to move up a little bit, wherever it was going to be, we were projecting to have to give up next year's first-round pick. And I think that was kind of something that was going to happen. A lot of teams have to do that. Now, the Patriots kind of struck luck. They got, Mac Jones following them right at 15. But that's another story. We're talking about the Bears in this case. And I think it's not a bad price. It could have been worse. We saw what they had to give up for Mitch to move up one spot. So I think compared to that, this isn't too bad. This is kind of like, they're losing a first round pick next year, but they still have picks 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. They might trade for first next year. We don't know what's going to happen. There's still 6 more round 1 to finish tonight and 6 more rounds of the draft starting tomorrow and Saturday. So we're going to find out what happens. But I think this is a really good price to answer Artemio's question for the Bears. I think it's a really good move. Just looking at Justin Fields as a player, he's gotten I've talked about in the show. Player comparisons can kind of go either way. I always say, and I'll say this to MultiScore Special fans, and if you have a different opinion, share it. I love to hear different opinions. I mean, that's the beauty of sports, is to hear different views of this. So that's what I want to hear from all of you. Whenever you want to share it, feel free, anytime. So, Katie Kemeth, my old classmate at St. Anne's, thank you for tuning in tonight. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate all the fans that are tuning in. If you're checking this out before or after, we appreciate your support. So I'm going to look at some of the details about our new Bears quarterback, Justin Fields. So he got compared to Dak Prescott, and this is by Lance Zierlein. This is courtesy of NFL.com. They have some really good details on his strengths and weaknesses. I'm just going to read a few. I'm not going to read the whole list. If you guys want to look it up yourself, check it out at NFL.com. So he's got really good size. They said his footwork's really good as well. You can see that in the tape. He's very mobile. That's one of the things I watched on a lot of his highlight tape, pro day tape. A lot of fans saw this as well. When we were wondering what was going to happen before, the Bears picked him in 11 and moved up to trade to pick him. He's got really good mobility. You can kind of see a lot of Dak Prescott in him a little bit. Obviously he's a different player. It's Justin Fields, not Dak Prescott. But you can kind of see a bit of that style. Has a very good throwing arm, but can also be mobile. So, I think in terms of that, it's going to really help the Bears. Now, I do think, I haven't really decided my take on this yet. We'll find out. I think, back, just to give an example, obviously when we picked Trubisky, he came in week 4. We don't know what's going to happen with Fields. He might sit most of the year, half the year until he's ready. I think that might be smart. However long he needs to sit, under Andy Dalton can hold it down. I think, it's going to be up to what they see in training camp, how he fits with the players, that we continue to bring in through the draft and free agency before, OTAs and training camp in the next few months. We're going to see what's going to happen. But I also think, also in those terms, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops, in the quarterback room. Maybe Foles gets traded for a mid-round pick. We don't know about Wims or Miller yet. Miller was being shopped around and traded for the draft. He could get traded for a pick now that the Bears lost round 5. So we'll have to see as things move forward, where Justin Fields will, play into the Bears quarterback depth chart right now. I think that's one of the reasons Andy Dalton's in. You can kind of tell after the Russell Wilson trade didn't go through, the Bears wanted to take a quarterback in the draft, and it seems like they're trying to bring in someone that can help develop a younger quarterback of the future better. They tried it with Mike Glennon. It didn't work. They tried it with Chase Daniel. It didn't work. You tried it with Nick Foles, who's still here in Chicago. Didn't work last year, even with the quarterback competition. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. Me personally, at this point, my opinion could change on this. Even in the morning, things can change quickly in sports. But I think at this point, it's smart to sit Justin Fields so he can learn the offense, because this is a very big pick for the Bears. You want this to be your quarterback of the future for a very long time. A young player with a lot of potential. Could be a star. We don't know that yet. I think that's what makes the draft interesting and risky at the same time. And I think the Bears took a really good risk tonight on this pick. I really like it a lot. Just thinking of Fields, how he fits with the offense that they have right now. We have Allen Robinson on a franchise tag. Given the Bears' salary, we'll have to see if he comes back. I almost think, round 2 tomorrow, since a lot of people thought they'd go offensive line tonight, or receiver, or cornerback, I could see a receiver or an offensive lineman tomorrow. Now, we've seen Ryan Pace trade down before, so I think after losing a 5th-round pick tonight, trading up, we could see him move back a bit in the 2nd round, find a receiver he likes. If Rashad Bateman slides down, or Rondale Moore from Purdue slides down a little bit near the Bears, they trade down. Because they can get like another 5th-round pick, but they also have 4 6th-round picks, so they could trade up for a 5th. But a big pick for the Chicago Bears tonight. If you're Ryan Pace of the Chicago Bears, you should be very, very happy with this. He took a good risk on this pick. It's a scary thing in his position. His job's on the line, Nagy's job's on the line, but they did their homework on these quarterbacks, you can tell, and they picked their guy. We saw what happened when John Fox picked the quarterback, guys, and that obviously didn't work out with him and Pace. And it seems like him and Nagy are a better fit picking the quarterback. Nagy has that quarterback experience, played arena football as a quarterback. Before coaching, he spent time over in Kansas City around Mahomes and stuff, so he has an idea of the type of quarterback, that fits in the league today. Things have evolved to the style of quarterbacks we're seeing. Many years ago when we were, in the 2010s early on, and in the early 2000s, we're seeing more pocket passers, not as much mobile quarterbacks. That was a thing for the future. And we're going to see a new quarterback come to Chicago that can really bring some energy to this team, a team that could have a playoff chance. It's kind of too soon to say that yet, where the Bears will go next year, just because we're still in the offseason. But I really think there's a lot of hope for Bears fans right now after a pick like tonight. It shows, to the fans that the front office believes, we don't have to rebuild. We don't have to tear it all down. We have the team that can still win it and do this. We're trying to put our best pieces together and foot forward, and we can do this. And I think that's what this pick shows tonight. This is our new quarterback of the future. I think Justin Fields, first, from MultiScore Special, we welcome Justin Fields to Chicago. Congratulations to Justin Fields for being drafted by the Chicago Bears. We wish you nothing but the best in your future, hopeful long-term career with the Chicago Bears. So, MultiScore Special fans, this is a big move tonight for the Bears. And I posted on social media just a few hours before the draft. We have our mock draft up. Mock Draft 1.0. As I mentioned, you guys, I got caught COVID not too long ago, a few weeks ago. Kind of took some time to recover, and working on some content for you guys, and I was able to put a good mock draft together this year as usual. We're going to continue to do that every year for every one of the sports we cover in professional levels. So be on the lookout for those. It was a really interesting mock draft put together. You guys all probably saw that tonight, or you're going to see it in the highlights in the morning if you were working or something tonight and not able to catch it. This draft was very interesting, and I think that's why we saw the Bears trade up to get Justin Fields at 11. A lot of people thought, okay, 8 and 9, that's where you're going to have to go. Denver got Bridgewater. Panthers have Darnold. They're not going to go quarterback. And we saw them not go quarterback, but cornerback. A little similar term there, but just different positions. But yeah, you're seeing something that is exciting for the city of Chicago. It brings excitement to a football team that's very historic, that has needed a quarterback with this type of talent. Now, we thought that was Mitchell Trubisky. Nice guy, great. I was a fan of him myself, but he didn't work out in Chicago. You wish him nothing but the best in his career as a backup, wherever he does in Buffalo. But Bears are heading into a new quarterback era right now. We'll find out moving forward who they pick in the remaining rounds. Hopefully, if you're getting a young quarterback like this, I want to at least see personally, you have enough money on the defense right now. Maybe get a, offensive tackle or two, or a guard. I think that'd be really good. Develop them with your young quarterback, and the offensive line cornerstones I believe you have in Sam Mustipher at center. Good piece. Out of Notre Dame, Alex Bars is a depth player. And then you have your two lead guys, I think, still long-term in the Bears offensive line when they're healthy. Cody Whitehair and James Daniels, very solid players, I think. I like them as continued potential in that leading that offensive line for the Bears with Justin Fields. You got David Montgomery, Mooney, all those guys. You got talent still on that team. But I think you need to clear house a little bit. We'll see that, hopefully. A Miller trade, a Wims trade would be good. Maybe Nick Foles at this point. After the trade for Justin Fields, we'll find out, guys. So I think this is really exciting, and MultiScore Special fans, Bears fans, be excited. If you're just tuning into this Facebook Live later on, the Chicago Bears traded up to pick 11 tonight to pick their quarterback of they believe is the quarterback of the future and their future franchise quarterback. The quarterback out of Ohio State, Justin Fields, is the new quarterback joining the Chicago Bears. Your new Chicago Bears quarterback, Justin Fields. So from us at Will's Fifth Quarter Special, I'm your host and creator, Will Farrell, congratulating Justin Fields. Welcome to Chicago. We wish you nothing but the best in your career. When the fourth quarter buzzer sounds, you turn to us for your fifth quarter sports talk. Thank you to all of you that have tuned in this late into our emergency Bears Justin Fields drafted to Chicago Facebook Live edition here on the fifth quarter sports talk. Artemio, Katie, Kenneth, Michael Kerr, thank you for joining. So, I'm your host and creator of Will's Score Special, Will Farrell, saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your night. Get pumped for Friday tomorrow. Bears fans, you got your new quarterback, so you can sleep soundly. So long from this emergency Facebook Live edition of Will's Fifth Quarter Special. Take care, guys. Bear down.